Shade, welcome to our Freebie Friday video. Today's question is about how to dispute something. Well, usually when people are disputing things, they're disputing something that was agreed to by the parties. It could be that they're disputing an amount that was agreed to, or the quantities or quality of the things. So when you're doing a dispute, what we're seeing at our law firm is we're getting emails and letters and voicemails and text messages that are not quite clear. So what I would advise is, when you're doing a dispute, think about what exactly is the core of your dispute. What is it that you agree to as to what has been delivered, or what the other person is claiming, and what parts don't you agree to? And if you can narrow those two things down, then the middle, or whatever is in the middle, is going to be your dispute. And you have to be very specific. So for instance, if somebody delivers to me a dozen, pairs of shoes, and I think that the agreement was for 2 dozen, well, I have to be very specific to say, I paid for 2 dozen and you delivered just 1. If somebody gives you some kind of service and you thought that they were changing the battery in your vehicle and also doing an oil change, and then you later notice that all they did was do the oil change, well, you have to go back and say, I disagree with the services that you provided. You were supposed to provide A and B, and you only provided A. So be very, very clear when you're sending out messages, because it's not helpful to the lawyers if there's ever a dispute, like a real disagreement that drags on. It's not very helpful to the lawyers if we don't have specifics. If you've agreed to pay money back on a loan, be very clear, especially if there's no written contract. Specify in your email, text messages, something like that, and say, I have agreed to pay you back $10,000 in this way. So when I say in this way, have you agreed to pay the $10,000 all at once, and by what date? Or have you agreed to pay the $10,000 in installments, and in what installment amount, at what day, on what dates would you be paying the installments? So those things are really crucial. Otherwise, the lawyers may not even really be able to help you much, and the other person might get an upper hand if they claim, if they have more documentation than you do. If you object to something, also be very clear and say, I got your email and I agree with A, B, C, but I disagree with this sentence because A, B, C. So you just have to be very specific. It's very difficult to do it, but if you keep those things in mind, hopefully that has been helpful for you, and hopefully that will come in handy if you ever get into that kind of situation, and that person will not be able to pin something on you that you didn't agree to. So that's my advice to you, and we hope to talk to you soon. Happy Friday, as always.